Hi, I'm Chef Raphael and welcome to my channel. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so that you're notified whenever I have a new recipe out. And today's recipe is really special because it's actually a vegetarian pasta dish. I'm using the penne rigate from Barilla, and also I'm using the tomato and olives tomato sauce to bring this together. And even when you bite into it, it's lovely. Whether you're vegetarian or not, I'm sure you love this dish. Let's get started and you see how simple it is to make it. I'm going to prepare everything as you see, but before we start cutting the vegetables, I'll boil the penne. So my water is already boiling. I put in a generous amount of salt. And one thing about the Barilla pasta is that the type of wheat that is used, because that's what makes the difference between pasta. It's actually durum wheat, and the pastas are really firm, especially when they are already cooked. And it's always a good idea to check how long you've been told to cook. I'm not going to cook the whole packet. I'm cooking just enough for about 2 servings. So about half. When the water is boiling, when it starts boiling, it's really important that you start from the boiling point. You stir it when it's at, let's say, 1 minute after it started cooking, so that it doesn't stick. So for the veggies, I've chosen just a few of the vegetables that I felt would go together. The sauce it's already cooked. It's ready to eat. It has all the spices, or it's actually delicious as it is. But for the purpose of this recipe, I want to have a variety of chunky vegetables. So I'm also going to add the onion. And then however you decide to cut them, you make sure that you cut them all in the same design. So make them uniform. For the eggplant, I felt, let me show you how to do an eggplant, how to work with eggplant. The bigger the eggplant, the more older it is, and it tends to have tough skin and bitterness also. It has some amount of bitterness. So look for a small piece, cut in the same size. So I have all my vegetables ready, and I want to have the vegetables to start cooking and to start browning, and then I'll add the sauce. Now remember, the sauce, it's the one with the olives, and the vegetables that I have right here, and the mixer for this and the olives and this makes this recipe delicious. And what you want to always confirm before you open your new jar of sauce, Barilla sauce, is make sure that the top here is firm, because when you open it like that, and when you close it, what usually happens, this is actually pressable. So that's one way you can tell whether it's actually fresh or not when you're buying it from the store. I'll start with the eggplant. I'll add a little bit of oil, so giving them a head start, let's say about 30 seconds, and then add the rest of the vegetables. So add some pepper. I'm not going to add salt because the sauce already has salt. And again, the idea is to have the vegetables cook until they start browning. Meanwhile, the pasta is still cooking. As you can see, the penne pasta is a little bit thick. So the thicker it is, the longer it will take to cook. And actually, how you tell pasta is cooked, especially penne, that small line is what you want to see. At 11 minutes, it should have that kind of a line for it to be al dente. So pasta is ready, vegetables are ready. So after draining off the pasta, now this is where you also need to look into how much pasta to add. It has to be the right balance of pasta and vegetable, and see if it's enough. And I think that ratio is good. So you don't have to add all the pasta, you'd rather add a little at a time. And then at this point, I'm going to add the sauce. And as you can see, it has the olives on the inside. I think you can see from there. I'm not going to add all. Again, you have to also measure based on the amount of pasta that you have. And at this point, I'll actually add a little bit of the pasta water that was left over. Bring it back to boil. Add a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Parmesan cheese with pasta always is a great combination. Turn off the heat and the pasta is ready. So when it comes to serving, it has a nice aroma from the olives. And I'm loving it because of also the vegetables. And the thing about a pasta dish, that's another thing you need to note, is that serve it hot, serve it fresh. And the sauce should not be too much. You can decide to serve an extra amount of Parmesan, penne pasta, vegetarian penne pasta made with the Barilla olive and tomato sauce. I hope you like it when you get to try yours. If you have any questions, let me know and I'll get back to you. Make sure you also subscribe and follow me on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, goodbye.